Hello, my name is Michelle, and I'm a woman in her 30s. I'm a single mother, and I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and I'm a traveler, and what's the other thing? I'm an immigrant. I've been living in the US for most of my life from Cameroon. And on this channel, I'm going to be discussing all aspects of that to some level. And pretty much just how I've learned and grown over the years. And I mean, I've lived over 30 years, and I'm hoping somebody can learn from my experience, not make the same mistakes, and also to be able to learn from you. So, thank you for being here. Um, Today, I would like to discuss more about relationships and just communications in general. I was talking to a friend today, and I asked if he was distracted on the phone, and he was like, "What's your birthday?" And I told him October 15th, and I asked why, of course. And he was like, he's like, "I'm not sure if I believe in horoscope, but I was just kind of wondering if there's something about it about if it relates to your personality of at all, because you just have this innate ability to be able to understand people in a specific way and just kind of be tuned into the conversation." And I found that to be endearing, partially because I've always been like that. I've always been a pretty good listener. I'm not sure if I went into my career because I love to listen to people, or if I was just predestined to be someone of a therapist. In my role as a psychiatric nurse practitioner, I mean, my role is to listen to people, to be able to put the pieces together and figure out what's going on with them and what medications they need, if that, or just education, or just an ear. There's just a lot of people um, uh, go for weeks, months without having anybody listen to them for a straight 10 minutes. So I serve a very important role, I think. And that applies also, that carries over to my life with the people that I care about. When I care about you, it's pretty simple for me to be able to pay attention, be tuned into the conversation, anticipate what you're going to say, be present. I'm a very active listener, and when I care about people, I just know what they're going to say, and I know how to reply and how to just kind of be there, but which is great. But then the opposite is also true. When I don't care about people, and I don't do it intentionally, and it makes me look bad, it makes me look like I don't care. Um, makes me seem like, come across as if I think I'm superior than other, and I've gotten this feedback in the past. It kind of makes me come across in kind of cocky, and it's not intentional. I don't mean to, but it's just I don't know what it is about my brain. Like when I don't care about people, or when I don't have the same level of interest about people, it's just like I almost completely tune them out. Um, um, like they will tell me something like five, 10 times, and it's just in one ear and then out the other ear. And every time I see them, it's just this kind of superficial thing, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So I'm working on that. And part of that process is I joined an association, a Cameroonian association, and I've become one of the member. I'm going into my third year right now. And part of that is me putting myself in a position that's more approachable. Because as a regular member, I'm in the background. Nobody has a reason to talk to me, and I don't have any reason to talk to anybody either. However, in this role, it gives me kind of an umbrella to approach people and just kind of doing this in the name of the association, and then for people also to be able to approach me in the name of the association, also for us to be able to have conversations. And I think I like that. I've had in the same association, I've had at least one person approach me and be like, "Hey, you should hit up my wife so you guys can be friends." And seems like you've lived a long life, and maybe they can learn something from that. And I'm like, "Oh, that's a pretty high compliment." And I would like to, but as I've mentioned, if you watch my previous podcast, my previous episode, it just always seems like I'm terrible about approaching people in some context. And part of it is the fear of rejection, right? But also the other part is that I'm shy. And that is something that it doesn't come across. So a lot of people don't know that. But I'm actually quite shy. And and the fear of rejection is there also. So because of those things, I kind of just find my corner and observe. I've been in the listening side for as long as I can remember. I'll have conversations with people and they'll walk away feeling like they know me pretty well, and I mean, they'll walk away feeling light, as in, wow, that was a great conversation, and they have learned nothing about me at all. Which again, it serves me really well in my job because that's what I get paid to do. So it's actually pretty interesting that I get paid to do something that I was doing naturally already for many years. So I take it, I hold on to that. But and then that's part of the reason why I'm doing these videos, because I feel a little bit misunderstood, or at least not understood, not given the opportunity to speak and for people to get to know me. I'm always a little bit more intrigued by people who actually make the effort and actually go past that barrier, because it's not easy and it takes time. I don't warm up very easily to people. People pretty much have to show me that they actually want to be there and want to be around and are actually interested in getting to know me. If it's just a superficial thing to move on, it's like, nah, by the end of the conversation, you won't know anything about me. I don't, and or at least the very basics, you have a lot of assumptions, which are not always true, as we all know. But we're human, we make assumptions. The brain just kind of functions that way. But do you ever think about who you are in certain context? Like, we're all chameleons, right? We behave a certain way when we're in certain environments. So I'm always very careful as far as judging people based on situational circumstances. As human, we do naturally, but I try not to hold on to that too tightly because it doesn't serve well. It's and I can speak for myself. When you see me in certain context, you will be like, "Wow, that woman, she never speaks." And then if you see me in other places, like, "Whoa, life of the party." And then it very much depends on the people I'm surrounded with. And I think that's a fairly common thing. It's not a me thing. Yes, there's people who are hyper and highly sociable in all contexts, but most of even those people, it depends on the environment they find themselves into. They have to kind of tune themselves too. I had an acquaintance tell me many years ago that he was a chameleon and that he said something along the lines of, "Yeah, this is who I am until I become the person that I really want to be." And at that time, he was a student. He had just immigrated to the US and he was struggling. And he was just waiting to be able to go past that stage and have his papers and be able to live his life. And today, we've seen each other. We don't communicate too often anymore, but we saw each other a few years ago, and it doesn't quite seem like there's a level of self assurance that he has. Again, that was a one time thing, but I don't know if he's really changed too much from who he was back then. But money changes people. Money changes people. Money and then a sense of security. When you know who you are, you feel safe and accomplished, and knowing where you belong. There's definitely something that comes with that. Um, it's important. I hope we can all find that. I have a lot of people in my office because who come to see me with mental health problems because they've lost that sense of belonging, that sense of knowing who they are, or that self-esteem, and it can lead to anxiety and depression, and just kind of that generalized that's dissatisfaction. What the what? Just generally satisfied with life. Is that, I don't know if I said that correctly, but and it's a stage of life. I think to some extent we all go through that. Hopefully, it doesn't last too long. And if you're in that stage right now, write it out. Maybe get out there, meet some people, and listen to podcasts. Journal so you can self reflect and do what you exercise, eat well, And I'll mention a lot of those things all the time when I talk about interventions because life really is just a series of those little steps that we take for granted when everything is going well. But they really do go a long way, I promise. That is all my rambling for today. Thank you for being here. I hope you learned a thing or two today. Drop down in the comment what you've learned and if you're going to be applying any of this. And feel free to like, share, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye.